Hi guys, well, I've got a treat for you today. I'm going to take you over onto my brother's plot and I'm going to show you this pen and this coop that I've made for him, and we're going to see the chickens and you're going to see the four musketeers. Now, I was showing you a little teaser there the other day. However, I want to show you me building the pen and the coop. I say it took 5 hours a piece to do them both. In fact, the coop took a little bit longer because I had to, once I built it, then I had to redesign the whole thing inside and the outside as well. But we built it for one purpose, and then we had to change it round to accommodate the bigger birds. So I'm going to be showing you that video soon, and also showing you how I built the pen. Now, the pen was very easy to make, it really was. I will be taking you over there in a moment to show you, and like all you're going to need if you want to build a pen like this, you need 6 Arris fences. Preferably you want 4 with the bends, and you want 2 with the sharp corners. Explain the reason why in a moment or two, but that's what you need there. Then you need 5 scaffolding planks, at least 30, they've got to be 13 foot long. You will be cutting them down, but they will sit inside the Arris fences frame, and what you do, you screw all the way along the base of it. The reason why I've done this is to make it higher. I wanted so I'd go in and not bang my head on the door like a friend of mine's got. His sunk his in the ground, and you've got to crouch down to get into the pen, and it's no good that, especially for me, because I'm just short of 6 foot, so you know, and my brother is as well, so we don't want to be banging his heads on the frame. But yeah, you need 5 of these scaffolding boards. You need 4 for the perimeter on the bottom of the Arris fences, and you need 1 to go across the top, and that's where you're going to put the 2 square Arris fences, if you can get hold of them. It doesn't matter if you can't, you just need to get hold of the ones with the round corners, and they become the roof, and this scaffolding board will create the apex. You'll see me pointing that out when we go down, so we'll have a look at the birds. All the other things was just added, like the perspex was what my brother had. We've used the perspex as windbreaks for the chickens, and it's come in real handy because of the kids what come on and look at the chickens, and they can put the fingers against the bars, but they can't touch the chickens, and the chickens can't pet them. I'll show you that as well in a moment. But yeah, so what we're going to do, we're going to go over there now. I'm going to show you the pen, I'm going to show you the coop with the chickens. We will be putting these videos up of the coop and the pen later on in the year, when I can manage to put all the footage together to make it a fairly decent video. So let's go down there and have a look at the outside, and then we'll go on the inside, and we're going to look at the chickens and everything else. Well, YouTubers, bring you down onto my brother's plot, and this is his chicken pen. His girls are just in there. I built this for him. Like I say, it only took a few hours, 4 or 5 hours to make, and basically what it is, it's 6 Arris fences with the middle of one just here cut out to make this door casing, and there's 2 Arris fences which are on the roof and there's a scaffolding board which I'll take you inside in a minute and show you. That's stood on end, and then the water can run off. We put a few lats in the roof to give the roof support and rigidity. All around the perimeter you can see, halfway up the fence we've got perspex, and that's basically windbreaks for the chickens. You probably can just see inside there the chicken coop, well, just down there you can see 10 big fat chickens, and I've got the 4 musketeers a little bit inside in the corner. We'll take you and show you them in a minute. But yeah, it took about 5 hours in total, 4 maybe 5 hours to build. It was quite simple really. I will tell you, you're going to need 5 scaffolding boards, 13 foot long. You're going to need 6 Arris fences just to build the outside, and some stud work which you can buy for next to nothing these days. Wicks, B&Q, I think they're doing it about 2.4 metres at length, about £2. You can get 6 lengths for 12 quid. It's really cheap. That's a 64 by 38 by 2.4 metres, and that's what we've basically built the door casing and all the joists inside out. So yeah, surprisingly, the biggest expense was the roof, which is this 4x5 sheet of sheeting. It's the thicker version. They do 2 versions in B&Q. They do the thinner version. This is the thick one, and it costs 20 quid for the roof. It sits on top of the Arris fences, and yeah, it looks pretty good. Like I say, the door casing, that was the difficult thing to make. That took all of an hour, and yeah, it was straightforward, really. Straightforward in building it. Inside we've got paving stones right round the perimeter. We can thank Dawn, one of the plot holders on here. She had a pile of them and she said, help yourself, Mark. And I think it took about 7 3x2s in total. We already had some, and it's gone right round the perimeter of the inside. The outside here, well, we don't really need to do that. There is some chicken wire underneath the floor there, so any foxes try to dig in, they're not going to get very far. Plus you've got the paving stones inside as well, but we've left the middle open with all the wood chips so they can kick it about, and they've been kicking it about. Right, so let's show you this perspex, how we've done the perspex in. So we'll go inside now. And by the way, I did all this on my own, and yeah, it didn't take very long. Once you got the principle, how it's going to go together, it's straightforward enough. So let's go inside. We'll probably have to run round the girls a bit, but yeah, I'll show you the girls as well inside when we get in there. So let's move on in. You know, just before we go in, I want to show you this perspex and show you how we've done it. We've used cable ties, drilled 2 holes and put the cable ties so you can see it goes all the way around the perimeter. Let's go through the door. So now we're going into the pen itself, and as you can see, they started to dig around the edges. We need more wood chip in here. We'll be putting that in shortly. This is the coop that I made. This took me about 4 or 5 hours to make as well. I did this at home, so I had all the tools. We've even put it on wheels. I got my lad pushing it round. He pushed it round from the house. We only live around the corner. It's like 10-minute push. He said it rolled really well as well. But that's another story. We'll show you how we built all this coop shortly. It's even got pleber on it. We've covered it with this, and it's one sheet what goes right the way over the back and down the sides. We put trim round the edges here to finish it off. We put a window in here for them to look out of at the night time. We don't lock them up at the moment. We will do when it gets colder, but they all go in there and they're all happy. The perches are in here. I'll just let me count the chickens. Yeah, we got 10 out here, so I can actually show you inside here. So we come down here, you can see the bars we put in for them to roost. This is the nest box area. If I can open the bloody thing. Right. Oh look, obviously my brother hasn't been up. There's 5 eggs there. So they're starting to lay, that's a good sign. The boxes there, they might be a bit too small. I might have to just manoeuvre them about a bit. They seem to want to lay there or lay in the top up here in this one. But anyway, let's close the door. He'd be saying I'm pinching his bloody eggs next. Not that I need them. Right, so we've got strengtheners here, and we've got these what we got in the roof here. To stop the water, when the water gets on it, it was building up and sending the roof bowing. So we put these in. These was added, and on this side over there was added, just so the water runs off. I mean, it runs off beautifully. And yeah, this is the crowning thing of the old pen. This scaffolding board here turned on its end. Now I was going to build a flat roof, but I come up with this idea. I don't know if you can see how I've fixed it in there. It's It's a 13-foot length, but we had to obviously we cut it down to suit in here, and we've got the feeders hanging off it. We've got another feeder to put in off this thing here. So that's the roof. It's on a like I say, it's a, I'm trying to think of the word. Anyway, never mind. Let's have a look, come down here and have a look at these girls. Now these are the Four Musketeers. We put them in here for the time being. We will be release them into the population with these very shortly. And as you can see, there's some beautiful fat chickens here, and they're like 3 times the size of these at the moment. So another 2 weeks, they should be big enough to cope with these ones, and they don't seem to be looking at them, but they're not bothering with them. 2 golden Brahmas there. I'm not too sure the rest of these other breeds there. I don't know what they are. But with these, cost me absolutely nothing. Like I say, my mate George gave me all these. They were sure to be put down if I didn't pick them up because of the problem with the school, which I'll tell you a little bit more about in a bit. But as you can see, the Four Musketeers, they're okay. They've got in that coop there, in the thingy there, the house to go in, and they're not going to get cold because of this perspex, which goes all the way around the perimeter, as you can see. And the door there, we haven't got it in the door there. We'll just let a little bit of air in, but the air can come in through the top here, so you know. This was the most expensive thing, this blue tarpaulin in here, and yeah, it cost 20 quid. So yeah, that's like I say, they've got the paving stones what go right round the perimeter. Brother's got a chair there, there's another chair there. So yeah, like I say, he got all this. It's cost him 50 quid. The girls don't look too bothered. I think I'm going to get out now and leave them to it. There's the water feeder there. We're going to stick another one of them in for him. And there's the food. We want to lift this off the ground. We want to suspend it off the ground, this one. But I didn't have an handle on it, unfortunately, so we need to find one with an handle so we can suspend it off the ground. Look at them little buggers there yapping. Yeah, it won't be long before we release them into the population with all these girls. And don't they look fine? So if you can identify any of these breeds there, guys, other than the 2 golden Brahmas, leave a message below. But yeah, there's the pen, the coop, sorry. I think we're finished in here now. There's nothing else I can say except for the casing. You see the casing here, straightforward. We fastened it in the bottom there, in the top up here, and we've used these U-shaped nails all the way along the back of this. Let's come outside here. Leave them to it. You can see we've stapled them using these staples all the way along here, down. This is holding this is firm, so it's not going to go nowhere. Like I say, there's the lock. Stick the lock on it. Job's a good one. If you come round here, this is where the path is. These are his tomatoes, by the way. I managed to save his tomatoes, well, this row anyway. But if you come round here, this is the path here, and the kids, they get kids come up here and they kneel down there and they look at the chickens through here. And the beauty of this is they can put their hands up against the thingy, the fencing, and well, the chickens can't peck them. And you get a kid about this height and they can see it's like it's like a new world for them. And we've got a lot of kids who come on here, and over the last few days I've noticed a lot of families coming over with the kids, and they've been looking at the chickens and been really excited when they saw them, especially these characters here. So there you go. I'd say the scaffolding board here is sits in the frame of the Harris fencing, and we've got like screws all the way along it to screw into go straight through the Harris fence into the wood. They're 100 milli long, them screws, by the way, and they go right into the wood, and yeah, it ties it all in very nicely. So that's what the kids would see when they come on here, and they absolutely love it, I tell you. So what do you think, guys? My brother got really lucky with everything there. Hell knows how much it would have cost him to actually make it if he was having to buy all this stuff. However, I managed to source everything, barring the roof and the feeders, for nothing. So it's cost him absolutely nothing. All his money's gone in the feeders and the roof. The roof and some of the bits of wood. I did have some wood, but the bits of wood I needed, like for the door casing, and like I say, he spent 50 quid. And he got all the chickens. He's got 14 chickens there. He's got them 10 big chickens, and he's got the 4 musketeers there. We will be introducing them into the pen in a week or two. We don't want to put them in too soon. Like I said, you can see the size of the birds are clearly 3 times bigger than these ones, so we need them to get them a little bit bigger. It won't take them long, because they're amassing the size day by day. Every day they seem to grow an inch, these chickens, the younger chickens that is. As you saw the roof there where we've made the apex, we've got that scaffolding board going right the way down, and like I say, you do need 13-foot scaffolding planks to be able to cut a couple of, cut the ends off, and then you obviously you notch them out, and that's how you can make your apex. I could have made that as long as I wanted. I could have just continued. All I would have needed was 4 more Harris fences, and I could have made it twice as long. Simple as that. That's if you ever wanted to make them that long. I mean, I don't want to make it that long, but if you wanted to make a bigger pen, you could do it that long. You could even make it twice as wide as well. You could have just made a bigger square. The way I've done the design there, it's it's so simple. And like I said, when we put the roof on that night, it rained, and it started to bubble a bit, and the rain started to collect on the Harris fences on the roof, and the water was starting to build up. So we put the joists in to stop the water from bubbling up in the Harris fence itself, and the rain just runs off now. He's talking to me about putting a gutter on it for him, so he can run the water directly into the coop, so they've got water 24/7. But I'm not very keen on that idea of them drinking rainwater. I don't know if it's a good thing for them to drink. I think we'll just give them proper tap water for now. Your views on that? Do you think the chickens would be fine drinking rainwater? Just captured off the roof, or would you just stick with what I always do, is drinking water? We will be collecting the water, however. We've got these tanks there, these 1,000-litre tanks, and we'll be running the water into there, so he'll have a never-ending supply of water for the allotment itself. You saw it on the outside there, where we went round the outside, and you could see the chickens through the perspex. Well, believe me, we've had a lot of kids on here, and they've all been sticky fingers all over them, going, "Look at the chickens, Daddy, Mummy." It's absolutely wonderful hearing them, and that was another reason why we put the perspex there. I decided to put the perspex there. It was just basically so the kids can't stick the fingers in and get them pecked off by the chickens. A little bit of health and safety there. And like I say, the kids walk up, and everybody's walking. It seems to be walking past them. And the good thing is they're treading the grass down as they walk past, so our kid doesn't have to cut it. But yeah, let me know what you think of the coop and the pen. We will be putting videos up shortly of the both of them, and I tell you, building the pen was the easiest thing you could possibly do, and straightforward, dead simple. So that's it from me and the girls over on my brother's plot. I promise you I will introduce you to him. Very camera shy. We're getting behind the camera eventually, and we'll get a few words out of him, preferably without any profanities. That's the problem I've got. Other than that, yeah, that's it for this one. Let me know what you think of the coop and the pen, guys, and especially them 10 chickens that we saved from the school. The reason why the school gave them up was because it was overrun with rats, and they got a quote off the council to destroy the rats at £2,500. Yeah, £2,500. Special needs school, and that's how much they wanted to rip them off. Now, like I say, George, he come along to me. I was talking about getting chickens for my brother. He said, well, this is a situation we've got at the school. We need to get rid of these chickens. We've got no one who will take them. They're yours if you want them. All you got to do is build the coop and the pen, which give me a timeline of about 7 to 8 days to build the pair of them to rescue the birds. And like I say, I'm always up for a challenge, and yeah, we threw them up. I think we did a fair job of it. The chickens, they brought the chickens down here, and what they've done now, they've put the rat poison down. They say it's going to cost us about 30 quid for the rat poison. They're going to wipe out all the rats. They're going to secure the pen and the coop properly this time, and then they're going to reintroduce the chickens, younger chickens. Them ones what you see in the pen, I think the 14-month-old and the massive. And the reason why they're so big is because of the kids used to come down and throw them food all the time. They used to feed them. That's why they're so fat. Anyway, there you go. That's it for this one. I promise you I will post up the pen and the coop real soon. Bye for now, folks.